Hello. Welcome to our first Tuesday night of live videos diving into some, sorry, somebody was walking towards the door and I wasn't sure if it was going to be for me because lately, I don't know about any of you guys, but when I put my daughter to sleep, she has to call me at least 10 times after she's in bed. And then I feel like a complete jerk because, it kind of gets annoying and aggravating. And she knows that I'm annoyed. So now the past 2 nights, she asks me, Mommy, why do you get mad at night? Why do you get a little mad at night? And then I feel terrible that she feels that way, of course, because I don't mean to project that on her, but man, when it's bedtime and you're just like ready for bedtime, especially when you have other things that you had planned to do in your quiet time, and she calls me in and I go in there and she'll just be like, can you pick up my headband? That was one the other night. Or what's this on my wall? Or all these random things that, are for nothing. So yeah, I get a little bit aggravated. And apparently she noticed and she feels it. And now every night when she tells me right as I'm about to shut the door to say goodnight that she has to go to the bathroom again, why do you get a little mad, Mommy? And then I feel like a complete and total jerk. So I've been trying to just put a smile on and deal with it. And know that the more reaction I'm giving her, it seems to be sparking a little bit more of these calling me in every 10 minutes. But it cracks me up because it really is for nothing. And I try my hardest not to lose my patience, but you all know how it is when it's bedtime. Like, you're done, you're checked out, you're ready. And yeah, so I wasn't sure if somebody was walking to come get me because of whatever reason. Anyways, besides the point, thank you for joining me. Hopefully your kiddos are in bed and sleeping and all that. We kind of had a late bedtime tonight because Scarlett came to exercise with me, which was entertaining and interesting. She actually did really well, and I was actually able to get in a pretty good workout, so I can't complain. But what I want to chat about tonight is something that I get asked about often, something that I dealt with myself after I had Scarlett, and something that has been somewhat coming up for me at times with this pregnancy and thinking about it and wondering if I'm going to feel the same way, because I've actually really been enjoying my pregnancy and my body, which last time with Scarlett was not the case whatsoever. I hated everything about it. And it makes me think about, what's the real reason? What is the real reason that we hate our postpartum bodies, our mom bodies, our bodies after we have kids, whether it's a couple weeks, a couple months, a couple years? Like, what is the real reason that we hate our bodies? Is it because we don't fit into our pre-pregnancy genes? Is that the real reason? Or that we might not look like we once did in a bathing suit? Is that the real reason? Or is it because we look at celebrity culture and the bounce back and you have a kid and you're like bouncing back like that, looking better than ever? Is that the real reason why? But I really don't think it is. When you really dig deep and uncover the actual reason why, it all boils down to control over our lives, as so much has changed when we become moms. And I know for me, after I had Scarlett, a big thing I struggled with, huge thing I struggled with, was breastfeeding. And I was so adamant, dead set that I was going to, and I told my husband, do not let me stop, do not let me quit. But it really started to highlight and amplify the feelings of postpartum depression and anxiety I was having. I don't know if any of you have experienced that as well, or just felt that like out of control, out of touch with your body feeling. But I had that big time. And the biggest issue I had with my body that contributed to the trouble with breastfeeding was how massively big my boobs had gotten. Like, I was so super uncomfortable with it that I felt like crawling out of my own skin. So I hated my body, you know? I felt like icky and gross, and I just couldn't even like contain myself with how out of touch and out of control I felt. And I even remember saying to a friend of mine, like, when are they going to go down? Like, if I continue nursing, are they going to stay this size? Because I don't think I can handle it. And now I spent most of my life having really big boobs, and for me it brought up all of these like past scenarios and situations where like it was all about my boobs, and I felt like they defined me for so long that when all of a sudden I felt completely out of control with them and uncomfortable and just I couldn't even look in the mirror. And it's one of the big reasons why I stopped breastfeeding when I did. You know, I made it like a month, which I have no regrets. I don't like dwell on it. My daughter's perfectly healthy. I needed to be good. She needed to be good, and I was not good. And I was not going to be good for her if I didn't, you know, get it together. But that's the real reason why I hated my body so much. I felt completely out of control. And I think a lot of moms deal with that feeling of being out of control. I mean, can you relate to that? Like, do you feel that way as well? That all of a sudden your life has completely changed, and your body, the one thing that's, you know, yours, you have to give up control over. I mean, obviously it starts too when you're pregnant, giving up control of your body. All of a sudden, every decision you make is now affecting another life, and weird things happen during pregnancy that you can't control, and it makes you feel even more like you have no control over it. For me, you know, right now I'm at that point where like I have to pee every 5 minutes, and I have really been a little nervous at times that I might actually pee my pants at some point. And again, not feeling any control. Hey Amy, how are you? And it's even to the point where my daughter, because it seems like every time we get home I'm like, you need to hurry up, let's pick up the pace, I have to pee so bad. And she'll look at me and she'll be like, are you gonna pee your pants? And she says it real seriously, which is hilarious from a 3-year-old. But again, it's like I feel like I have no control over it. So we don't hate our bodies after we have kids because we don't look good in our pre-pregnancy jeans, or we don't look the same in a bathing suit. It's deeper than that. It's more than that. It's the changes, the feeling like, you know, we've somewhat lost our identity, even our own bodies. But when we really think about it, like, I don't know any mother who's not super grateful to have her children and for the ability to carry a child, or, you know, whatever the case may be. But like, we immediately forget what amazing work our bodies do to make that happen, and that it takes, you know, almost a year for us to do that. And we, you know, put this pressure on ourselves to like bounce back the second the kid is born. And I think a lot of it comes from, you know, social media and celebrity culture, and just feeling that pressure, like something must be wrong with us if we don't wear our, you know, pre-pregnancy jeans out of the hospital. And that's just pressure we don't need. You know, there's enough pressure as a mother and enough things to stress you out as a mother that's the last thing we need, right? And the last thing we need to focus all of our energy on is looking a certain way after we have kids. Our bodies are different, plain and simple. It's inevitable that they're going to be different because they just did this amazingly life-changing, miraculous job of bringing kids into this world. So whether it's, right after you have kids or years after and you feel like you never got your body back, we need to get to the point where, you can accept where you're at right now and not keep waiting for your life to start or to be happy or for things to change once you lose 10 pounds or once you fit in those jeans again. And because it's wasting time and it's wasting energy. And when you really think about it, is that really what's important to you? Deep down, is that what's important to you? Or is it more of wanting to feel in control? Because everything else can feel so out of control once you have kids and unpredictable, which obviously anybody with kids knows that. Sorry, like I said, I worked out and Scarlett came with me, but I'm like super thirsty lately too, which doesn't help with the having to pee every 5 minutes. And now what Scarlett really likes to do is the second I say I have to go, she tells me she has to go and gets in the bathroom before me, which is real fun when you do feel like you're going to lose control and pee your pants. But hey, that's life with a 3-year-old, right? And I'm definitely realizing that the more reactions I give her, the more she likes to push those buttons and test the limits. Which, can anybody else relate to that? Do you have any idea? I'm sure you do. Just that, how far can I go before I snap? Or how far can they go before you snap? But anyway, so this feeling of control. So what can we do to start loving our postpartum, our mom bods a little bit more? When you get to the root of it, when you think about really what is it that's important to you? Is it important to you to fit into those jeans? Is it important to you to look good in a bikini? And why? Think about it. Why is it really that important to you? Is it because you feel like it reminds you of your former self before you had kids and you want a little bit of that back? Is it because you feel like it's the one thing you have control over when everything else can seem out of control? Or is it something else? Or are other feelings, being brought up? Like for me, with my boobs being massively huge. And, this pregnancy, they've gotten pretty big, so I'm pretty sure that it's going to happen again if I breastfeed. But, brought up all of these old stories and emotions and negative experiences I had and negative feelings I had about my body. At one point I had an appointment with a plastic surgeon to get a breast reduction, and it was actually right before I had gotten pregnant with Scarlett. So that obviously got put on hold, and now it's like the furthest thing from my mind. It doesn't matter to me. But that's how uncomfortable I was before getting pregnant and before having kids with my body, that I was constantly looking for ways to change it, and this one thing was just amplified when I had her and I started breastfeeding. So you really have to think about, what is it really that you want? What is it really that you're upset with? Or what is it really that you hate about your body after having kids, and why? Think about it. Why? What is coming up for you? Really stop. Is it more important to you to, go to the gym 6 days a week, even if you don't enjoy it, just so you can get in those jeans? Or do you want to enjoy some extra time with your kids and maybe get an exercise elsewhere, or get an exercise with your kids? Again, why? What is the reason for you? What is the meaning behind it? Once you can figure out the meaning behind it, you can figure out how to move forward and a solution. But one thing I really like to do to start embracing my body as it is at this moment, especially after having my daughter and even going through pregnancy, is to think about how you want to feel about your body. Not how you want your body to look, but how you want to feel about it. How you want to feel when you look in the mirror. What do you want to come to mind? Do you want to, think that you look disgusting or terrible or horrible, or that you need to lose 10 pounds? Is that how you want to feel when you look in the mirror and when you think about your body? Or do you want to feel like your body is the most amazing thing ever on this earth, and that it just did the most amazing thing ever by bringing life into this world, and that no matter what size, shape you are, that you're beautiful and you feel great and you feel confident? Which one of those do you want to feel? Which set of thoughts do you want running through your mind when you look in the mirror? And once you can kind of pinpoint that and you pause and you like really get aware of it, you can then start telling yourself the things that you want to hear and that you want to feel, even if you don't believe it. So you're not going to wake up tomorrow and all of a sudden be like, oh yes, I feel great and confident and my body is amazing and beautiful and I love it. Chances are that's not going to happen. But the beautiful thing about our brains is we can change them and we can mold them. And they're also, wired to think negatively, which is why we kind of default to all those negative, and I'm losing my train of thought with the word, but it's why we default to all those, the self-loathing and the bad things, because our brain's trying to protect us. So the beautiful thing about it is we can change that. We can change our default thoughts, and we can change where our thoughts go to with practice. It's like building your muscles. The more you lift weights, it's going to be hard in the beginning, but it does get easier the more you work on it. So the more you look in the mirror and tell yourself all of the things that you want to feel about your body and that you'd love to think about your body, and think about the way you talk to your best friend and how you would tell her, what you would tell her you thought of her body. You would never, ever, 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 or I hope not, they might not be your best friend then, say the negative things or think the negative things that you think about your own body. You would never tell your friend who was struggling with, her postpartum body that, oh yeah, you look terrible. You need to work out a little harder. You need to fit in those jeans again. You would never do that. So start thinking about how you would talk to your best friend and talk to yourself that way, right? Like, we should be doing that. We're our own best friends, aren't we? Like, in the end, we're all we got. So we should be talking to ourselves with the same love and respect that we'd be talking to our best friend with. So start thinking about those feelings and what you would say to your best friend. And when you get in front of the mirror and you start saying these things to yourself, and say them out loud is even better. I know it can feel a little silly or uncomfortable, and at first you're probably not going to believe it, but the more you do it, the more you're going to start to believe it, and you should believe it because it's all true. You know what I mean? You have to think of the truth in all the negative stuff you're saying and the truth in the positive, and there's more truth in the positive of what you're saying. All that other stuff is coming from external sources and pressures that might not be that important to you. So get in front of the mirror, start thinking about how you want to feel, and start saying it to yourself every single day. And before you know it, that becomes your default. That becomes how your brain is wired to think, and you start to believe it, and you should believe it. So think of your best friend and how you would talk to her, and start talking to yourself that very same way. And I promise you, you'll start to love your body, whether you're newly postpartum or, you've been a mom for years. You'll start to love your body when you start focusing on the positive and saying it out loud and saying it to yourself. So, I hope that we can all start to love ourselves a little bit more and set amazing examples for our kids, whether you have daughters or sons. Think about, how you'd want them talking to themselves, and treat yourself with the same love and respect, because you deserve it, and take care of yourself the way that you want your kids to take care of themselves, and the way you do take care of your kids, out of love and respect and not out of hate. So I hope this helps you love yourself a little bit more. For those of you who might not know me, who are new to the group, I am a holistic health and wellness coach, empowerment coach, and I advocate, for self-love and positive body image for moms. I help moms love their bodies more, ditch the diets and deprivation so they can find so much more time and energy to pursue all of the things in life that bring them joy and that make them fulfilled, even if they don't know what those things are yet. I help them find that energy to pursue them and to open their lives up, like to things that they never even thought were possible. And that's amazing that you appreciated your body more after you had your kids. Like, I love that. And I definitely have gotten to that point too, for sure. Like, it is amazing what our bodies do. Amazing how we grow life. And it starts, from a tiny cluster of cells to a human in like no time. 10 months is nothing when you really think about it. And the rate that the babies grow, it's just like mind-blowing, really. So yeah, we have to appreciate our bodies, especially after we have kids. Like, it is pretty amazing what we've done. And yeah, we always need more love. Like, that's what this whole world needs, more love. So if we can give ourselves more love, show ourselves more love, we're showing our kids how to do the same, and we're showing them how to spread love, and they're going to grow up being more loving individuals, and they're our future, right? They are the future of this world. So let's love ourselves a little bit more, lead by example, show our kids what it means to love themselves. When we love ourselves, you know that you're in a better mood, and you're spreading love and radiating love and that energy of love all around you. That's what we need more of. Less hate, more love everywhere. So, if you feel like you could use a little help in this, I invite you, book a call. We'll chat. I'll give you, the roadmap to how to get you to that point of more self-love, less self-hate, and open up that energy and find that time and energy to really pursue the things that bring you joy. Even outside of your family. We're more than just moms. So I'll put my booking link below this video. If you're ready, if you're motivated, book a call and let's chat. No pressure. See what we can do together. See what magic we can make happen for you. I know, right? One of the lactation ladies said we keep babies alive by nursing them. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I never thought of that either. We keep babies alive by nursing them after we've literally grown them in our bodies. So it's amazing. Even if you don't nurse, like I said, I didn't make it even a month. I'm going to try again this time, but no pressure, you know what I mean? But just knowing that our bodies are capable of that is pretty freaking amazing. So with that, I'm going to leave you. I know it's getting late, and those of us with kids who wake up early need to get to bed and get some things done maybe before bed. But, and before I forget, sometimes we don't notice in groups. Turn on your notifications. Click the 3 little dots in the corner there on the group page. Turn on your notifications so you know whenever I'm going live and whenever you want to chat and get all the updates and all that good stuff. And yeah, feel free, message me with any questions, struggles, inspiration, just want to chat. Like, that's what we're here for. Let's build a village. Let's support each other, because we're all in this crazy game of motherhood together. All right, enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll be keeping you updated on next week's topic, and I'll be seeing you soon. Bye.